It is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon here on Sunday, March 28th, 2025, because 31st is on Sunday. So the sheep are taking a little rest. It's overcast, but it's about 80 degrees right now. So they're all trying to stay cool. They still have their winter coats. As you can see, one of the sheep over there is eating the protein supplement that I put out for them. I guess they needed more protein. I guess next year, in late summer and during winter, I'm going to put out more protein for the sheep to see how they do. One of my neighbors, she's raising some Katahdin sheep, just a handful, and she wants to trade some rams, and I'm up for it. So I told her, I said I'll get the sheep probably all pinned up in May or June, and then I'll pull off the rams then, and we can do a trade there. I don't know what they're going to look like or if any of the rams are good for breeding, but I think some of them are pretty good. One of them was huge, and it's pretty much stayed huge. So I'm looking forward to that. I think there's already a lot of Katahdin genes in this flock. I want more Katahdin genes, so I'm going to be looking for good Katahdin rams out there too. Anything to get good genetics going, that's pretty important. So I'm looking forward to that ram swap. See what kind of sheep she has or whatnot. Anyway, the cows, I did something a little different when I unrolled the bale of hay. I didn't used to do this. I think I did it at first, but the hay was so thick when it unrolled, it just didn't work. But now that I'm using the bale unroller, I can do a proper job of it. Let's see if you can see it. Basically, I put some posts down the bale of hay in the middle that was unrolled, and then I put some wire, and the wire's not charged. I was going to try to hook it up to the fence there to charge it, but I've noticed that there's significantly less manure in the hay itself. Let me just go there and show you. I think I might do this more often in the future. Just put a wire down the bale of hay. Keep them from stepping on it too much. It's not perfect. You can see here the speck is standing in the edge of the hay. Hold on, they knocked some hay on top. I was pretty sure I checked it when I came out here. Yeah. So that wire is just running down the middle of the hay. Keeps the cows from standing in it and from pooping and peeing in it as much. So I'm kind of in that weird position where one bale of hay is more than my cows can eat in a day. But 2 bales of hay, but 2 days is too much for one bale of hay. So I need something like a bale and a half or something like that. So when they're on hay. But yeah, I think they did a pretty good job of not pooping in it. Hopefully it'll go a little further. Maybe one bale of hay will last 2 days. I rolled this out yesterday afternoon, I think. And Sunday afternoon, so maybe they can go one more day on it. It looks like they can. They're all chewing their cud. That's what I want to see. Look at Red's got her nice triangle filled, and she's actually in really good condition for coming out of winter. Obviously she could be in better condition, but I'm getting better at this. I don't know who that is. That's Metal Tag. Here's some of the Charlet, half Charlet. They're doing really good. So vitamin B, right? I was looking into vitamin B for the animals, and I wasn't really impressed. Some people, when they see a sick animal, they just shoot it with vitamin B, which I guess helps. The problem, just like all research doing with health and animals and stuff like that, is how do you know, right? How do you measure if it actually helps or not? And what happens if you don't do it versus do it? Does it make a difference? That's the thing that I really don't know. And I think there was a study out there in Australia where they took a flock of sheep and they split it in half, and half of the sheep they gave vitamin B12 and the vaccines. The other half they just gave the vaccines to, and there was no difference between the two herds. I think there was something, they mentioned like 14 studies of a similar nature with vitamin B, and only 2 of them showed any significant results, right? And now keep in mind, what I mean by significant is not like it's a statistical term. Okay, what it means is that the results indicate that there is likely an effect, right? And it's not just random chance, right? So if you want statistical significance, you have to increase your population size, or it has to be a bigger gap between the two, right? To give you kind of an example, let's say you only have 10 animals that you're running the experiment on, and the 5 animals that you give the medicine to survive and the 5 that don't die, right? And so you're like, well, given the variance there, the fact that the ones that survived is 100% and the ones that didn't, 0% survived, you can say that even with that small sample, you're pretty certain there was an effect, right? But let's say 2 of the 5 that were given the medicine died, while 3 of the 5 that weren't given the medicine died. Is that statistically significant, or is that just random chance? Or vice versa. If 3 of the ones that are given medicine died and 2 of the ones that didn't were survived, 2 of the ones that didn't died, then you might say that, well, the medicine's killing them, but you don't have statistical significance because the variance is too big. So if you do have something where it's a minor difference between the two, you need a larger sample size. I think 100 will give you about 1% variance in the results. So I don't remember. I have to look it up again. Regardless, a lot of these times, these studies done on animals, there's just not enough animals to give a clear indication one way or the other. They do slightly better with, or they do slightly worse with it. You can't really tell if that's meaningful or not. Could just be random chance. So anyway, that's what I mean by significant. And that's something to keep in mind too, is when you're looking at these studies and the evidence, if they say, 50% of the cows given X gained weight faster, then you have to dig into, well, what was the sample size? What was the experiment? Make sure the experiment's actually fair. If I take the good half of my cattle and give them the supplement, and then take the bad half and don't give them the supplement, of course the good half's going to do better. So you have to be careful about that kind of stuff too, because people do lie and cheat in statistics for good reason. It makes them more money, so anyway, guys, not much else to add to that. Just excited about spring. It's 80 degrees right now, overcast and 80. The grass is growing like gangbusters. I was kind of feeling sad because the grass on the side of the road seems to be growing faster than the grass in the pasture. But then I remembered that the grass on the side of the road is a different kind of grass. And the grass in the pastures is the ryegrass, mostly right now. There's some other things in it, mostly ryegrass. So it grows a little differently than the grass on the side of the road does, because it's for a different purpose. Anyway, guys, hope the wind wasn't bothering you too much. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.